Hi, everybody. This is Love Him, Love Them with Linda Gunner, where we give hope, touch lives, and change hearts. So excited to be back with you today. I just heard someone say that they wake up with a hymn in their heart. That's so funny. I made a song. I always say a song. Obviously, now you know that was an old person that said hymn because we don't have hymns anymore. But what about that? The Bible does say, and I read it in Ecclesiastes this morning, that it says that for a heart that is stayed on Him, He will bring you peace.
Perfect peace.
And who wants peace? Everybody wants peace. Everybody's lonely, depressed, full of anxiety, and everybody is looking for peace. And where we need to look is right up there. So God is just waiting for us to turn our hearts toward Him. I want to make sure, if you have not already purchased for yourself or someone else our brand new book, How to Get What You Really Want. Don't we all want that? I mean, some of you do want peace. Some of you want to be free of anxiety. Some of you want to be free of depression, free of loneliness. Loneliness is the big buzzword right now. Please get the new book, How to Get What You Really Want, from Him, Her, Them, and That. Amazing personal testimonies and stories in there from drug addicts, people who have been incarcerated. One guy over 28 times. People who still can't get along with their mothers. People who have been in homosexual same-sex relationships. I mean, you name it, we hit the topic in this book. So it may be that it's a great gift for someone. Easy to share that because people are looking for hope. They're looking for hope, and they want to get that hope from someone who has already walked through the path that they're dealing with. And so that's what that book does. And you can get that on our website at lovehimlovethem.org. Today's guest I have known for a very long time. Met her for the first time at the Mall of Georgia in the food court. So if you can't go to Hawaii, if you can't get out of the town, just go to the big Mall of Georgia, and it's a lot of fun there, especially in the food court. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to share with you today her life, her story, and for her to be able to give you hope, touch your life, and change your heart. So I hope you will help me welcome to the studio, to all of the networks, to our YouTube channel, my friend, Veronique Thomas. Girl.
Yes.
You made the long drive, right?
It's been a journey.
Yeah. So now you know how I feel every time somebody's like, just come to Atlanta. You got to pack a bag, right? And plus 85. But you were coming the right way.
Right.
Everybody else was going into Atlanta. Yeah, but you're gonna hit a hot mess going back, so we got to get you in.
It's okay,
and out.
but you know, it was it was just a smooth ride all the way here.
Yeah, straight up. Mm-hmm. That's why I tell everybody. They're like, "Where are you?" Get on 85. Go to just before you get to South Carolina, and there we are.
Yeah.
So listen, you just got back from a mission trip.
I did.
Where were you? Who put that together? What's going on that you're doing mission trips?
I love that. So it's not really a mission trip. It was, but you know what? It was in a way. So what it is that I was in Liberia. My brother, his name was Reverend Vernell Cutter, passed away October of 2023. And
I'm
he
so
had,
sorry. That's pretty recent.
It was really recent. He had pancreatic cancer.
No way. That's what my father passed away from.
Yes. And
Seriously?
it was pretty.
It's horrible.
It was traumatic.
Yes.
It was
How
traumatic.
old was your brother?
He's 18 years older than me. So so he was 63.
Now we need a calculator. My dad was 59. Mm-hmm. It's a horrible, horrible diagnosis. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So he passed away in 2023 from pancreatic cancer.
Yes. And
what does that have to do with Liberia?
So I'm about to tell you, but what was so hard about it for me, not just his death, but then I had a sister who passed away the very month after. And so it was just really...
Wait a minute. Your brother and your sister?
Yeah.
The sister I met?
No, not that sister. We had an older brother, older sister. Yes.
Okay, so the brother passed away in October 2023, pancreatic cancer.
Sister passed away in November.
Mm-hmm. The next month?
The very next month.
Was she sick or was it an accident?
She had been in a nursing home for a while. She had been going through a lot of things. I think she just couldn't take it without him. She literally, we told her and she kind of like gave up.
I've seen that happen a lot of times. You know, I had a very good friend, Diane, who passed away from, oh my goodness, now I can't remember what it is. some kind of cancer. But anyways, one time when we went to the doctor in between her chemo treatments, the doctor told me she's not as sick as she seems. I have other patients that are sicker. He said, but she's lost the will to live. So it does have something to do with it.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So I did not, this is all in 2023.
This is all at the end of 2023. Yes.
All right. So October, November, that's horrible.
Right. And so my brother, who always had the heart for people, and he always did a lot of work in economic development, sustainability, mainly out of Savannah, Georgia, has started going to Liberia. And he had he was a minister, he was a preacher. And so he would go over there and he would minister and preach in Liberia. And,
I don't even know where that is. Where is Liberia?
It's West Africa.
Okay. I got you.
And
had you ever gone over with him?
No.
Okay.
But I will help him a lot in a lot of his endeavors.
Right.
And so being attached to him, sometimes not because I wanted to. Right. A lot of times because he would call me Gal, and he'd be like, Gal, I need for you to get on this call. I need for you to do this or whatever.
Everybody does that to you. Melinda does that to you.
Yes.
You know why? Do you know why everybody wants you on their calls?
No.
Because you're an amazing administrative follow-up person. You know how to get things done. You know how to monitor the chat. You know how to follow up. You know how to remind people. And all of us that are the big idea people, we don't know how to do the administration part. So we feel so good when we have you by our side, because in the middle of it, you can make up a sponsorship form or a graphic or get in touch with the people or remind somebody. You have that amazing brain.
Thank you.
Well, it's the truth. That's why he wanted you on there.
Yeah, so I was that person. So basically, just a long story short, I became the successor to his businesses in Liberia. Oh, wow. And so he ended up with a lot of land in Liberia and businesses in Liberia, and I'm now the successor to all of that. So my trip to Liberia was because I was going there for the first time to meet the people, to fix the business stuff, and to meet the people on the land. And it was very much so a mission trip in that way.
Okay, so I don't understand. Is Liberia, like Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Yes.
You say economic development. Is Liberia poor?
Very.
Oh, really? So when you say land and businesses and stuff like that, what kind of stuff is it? Is it churches, or what is there? What does he have? Or you have?
So the land and the land there I have is on a area called Grand Cape Mount. And I have 3 distinct areas, and each area has distinct clans on the land.
Distinct what?
Clan, people.
Oh, okay. Like in America, when you hear clan, that's a bad thing. Is it a bad thing or a good thing?
It's a good thing. Okay. It's like
a group of people.
A group of people.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
So,
and so
3 different pieces of land, 3 different clans.
3 different clans, and they all have honestly different issues on their land. Mainly, one that's congruent through them all is that they have issues with light. They need
like electricity.
Electricity, yeah. Tyler, when the sun goes down, they go to bed.
Tyler, what's that?
Tyler is one of my lands.
Oh, I thought Tyler Perry.
Tyler, Tallah. So they, when the sun go down, they go to bed because they can't do nothing else.
Right. Same in Haiti. So do they work off of like generators and gas?
They have nothing.
Nothing.
They have nothing.
Okay.
So economic development, sustainability, and is very important there. I'm sure in Haiti, same thing as far as the roads, horrible. When I was going, it was like a roller coaster for like 3 hours.
Can you imagine if you grew up? This is the problem we have with some of our kids in Haiti, taking them for their learner's permit. They're like, what? Rules? What you talking about? Lines on the road?
Well,
what is that?
There's no such thing.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
I had to get used to it when I first got there. I was like, what you mean you went? You know?
Oh, yeah. It's it's a great evangelism tool because you don't know if you're going to make it from where you are to where you're going. Okay, so I'm very curious about this. All right, so what are you doing? Like, how many people are you serving, or what's your goal here?
So my goal right now is, honestly, I'm starting with humanitarianism. And so...
You use such big words. Okay, go ahead. Economic development, sustainability, humanitarianism. You're going to have to break it down for me.
I'm sorry. So right now, a big need is just incubators. A big need are books. A big need...
Wait. How are you going to use an incubator if you don't have any electricity?
So they do have hospitals. And so they need... infant mortality is huge, and so they do need incubator, and so they do have at the hospitals, which it's not on my land. They have to go outside the land.
But you have accessibility to those hospitals from your. Did you say 3 or 6 pieces of land? 3. Okay.
3. And so I am partnered with the Joseph Boakal Foundation in Liberia. Joseph Boakal is the president of Liberia.
Okay.
And so now I've partnered with the Joseph Boakal Foundation to help get these things to the people and to my land. Yeah.
So is electricity available at all in Liberia? Like, can you weave into it?
I mean, Monrovia, which is the capital of Liberia. Yeah. So they have electricity. It goes out, which I learned real quick because, I am very privileged. We're privileged, and I'm used to air conditioning, and I was sitting in my little Airbnb and that air went off and I was like, hold on.
Exactly.
It went off for like 24 hours and I was like, I am hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very.
All right. So your number one goal right now is incubators?
My number one goal are books, incubators. Education.
What language?
It's English. English.
Oh, because that was a big problem that we had in Haiti. We had
French.
Tons and tons of books donated, but the kids couldn't read them. So we literally had groups that would go through and use Google Translate and tape.
Wow.
And then we had a librarian that came over and set them up on the Dewey Decimal System.
Look at that.
To set up a library. So listen, how are you going to get the books over there? The big problem we always have is the shipping costs.
Exactly. And so again, through the Joseph Boakal Foundation, I've had people who are just waiting for me to bring in the whatever it is that I bring, and they are donating the shipping.
Oh, they will? Mm-hmm. Well, then we need to talk about that because I've had tons of people offer to give me. Are there specific types of books you're looking for?
High school, elementary, middle, like educational,
like curriculum.
It could be curriculum. It could be just a plain reading stuff for them to read, but books.
Oh, Veronique, I'm probably your good hookup for that because we've always had to turn it away.
Really?
Yeah, because it would be like if I gave you a bunch of books in French, what would you do with them? So when we give our kids in Haiti English,
it doesn't. Yeah.
No, what are they going to do with it?
So like books, again with the hospitals right now because of the infant mortality, incubators is something that they really need.
You can get that easily,
and just women products and things like that.
Mm-hmm. That is amazing. So how many people are we talking about that are in your clans on your 3 pieces of land?
I haven't asked for the actual the total amount.
Like on each piece of land, is it set up with like a school and a church, or is it just a piece of land where people are living? Help me see it.
So I don't want to say huts, but I want to say huts.
Sure.
It's like that.
Straw huts, wooden
clay.
They use clay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so do they have what is the marketing like in Haiti?
There's no marketing.
Well, there has to be something. So do they have people on the side of the road that sell rice and beans, or where do they get food, or is there a grocery, or do they all have their own cattle or farm, or how does that work?
You see, I'm thinking from what I saw while I was there, farming.
Okay.
Farming. Tyler is right on the ocean.
Oh, wow.
So they fish. Yeah. So, yeah.
We could build a house on the ocean. When I first got involved with Haiti was because of my best friend.
Right.
Here in America. She was Haitian, but she was here. She used to tell me all the time because we were in real estate. Mm-hmm. She was like, Linda, we could sell 1 or 2 of these houses and go live in Haiti like a king and a queen. She said, I could have you a little boy with a banana leaf, whatever, fanning you while you were on the beach. So I came home one day and I was like, David, we can sell 1 or 2 houses.
And go live in Haiti.
He was like, are you out of your mind?
Live in Haiti.
There's going to be armed guards with AK-47s.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I was like, she didn't say anything about that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So what is that like? Is there gang activity, or is it safe in Liberia? Or
so let's go. So Liberia is called Liberia because it was always liberated. It was never under slavery rule or anything. So let's think of it that way. That's why I say English. They do have their language, but they learn in English because of that. It was always like they have the US dollar and everything. So in that aspect of it all is easy.
Yeah, that kind of does make it a lot easier. Mm-hmm, when you went was this the first time you went since your brother passed away?
It was my first time. They didn't understand my grieving process.
Right.
And they didn't, because the only thing they knew was Reverend Cutter was coming to help us. Reverend Cutter was coming to save us and bring us and then he died and it stopped.
Right.
And they was like, where were you?
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's how it was when I went. They was look, you should
Where
have
you
been
been?
here.
Yeah.
Right. And they didn't
And you probably should have.
And they didn't understand that Veronique and GGL was grieving.
Yeah, but you know what? Veronique probably would have grieved differently if she had gone sooner, because it would have been like, instead of grieving, you would have been doing some powerful stuff that I'm with them on that one. Just saying. Because
Yeah.
I mean, was your brother?
No, for the longest time, but honestly, I wasn't going to do it.
Oh, wow.
I really wasn't. I wasn't going to do it. And we were at the National Black Chamber of Commerce convention in August, and it was a lady who came and she was playing the shofar. She yes, and she started playing it inside we were leaving out the grand ballroom, and she started playing the shofar, and Kendra and I, we was like, what is that and where is that coming from? And we walked over to her, and we were just talking. I was asking her, what was the significance of her playing, and she said she never was taught to play the shofar, and that the guy from Liberia gave it to her, and that she just picked it up and started playing it.
Do you know what the purpose for the shofar is?
I don't know. One was when they was walking around the city, the Jericho, and the walls came down.
It's the idea is that it makes a shift in the atmosphere, in the spirit world.
Well, let me blow your mind. And so
I'm gonna blow your shofar. I'm gonna blow your mind. Go ahead.
Right. And so when that happened, and she said Liberia, I said, oh wow. I said, because mentally I was still not thinking that I'm not going to do anything, because I don't want to move into that. And she was like, she came over, not her, but the lady that was with her came over, and she started praying in my ear. And she said, your brother have land in Liberia.
And you never told her?
She did. They didn't know. They had no clue.
Go ahead.
They had no clue.
Your brother has land in Liberia.
Your brother have land in Liberia, and you're going to be the person to go there and change. You're going to be the person to make that change. And I was like, so I'm bust out crying in the middle of the room and everything. And she was like, oh, and so they don't know. I still hadn't told them my significance, or like my purpose for Liberia at all. And so when she got finished, she said, she went over to the lady that was playing the shofar. She said, this is the lady who I want you to meet. Because of her brother and everything. And the lady came over and she was like, oh yeah, your brother and everything in Liberia, he just don't know. I want you to meet President Boakal had just spoke there. They was going to do a press conference in another room. And
wait. At the Greater Black Chamber?
No, at the National Black Chamber Convention.
And the president from Liberia just happened to be there as a speaker? Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. And so she said, I want you to meet my spiritual son. He's gonna get us, because I got a gift to give to President Boakal, and he's gonna get you in there, and you're gonna meet them. That's what she says to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, right? But I'm still not saying I'm going. They still don't know the significance. So the guy came over. His name is Simeon, and Simeon he said, yeah, I knew your brother. 1, 2, 3. Y'all know God works in threes, right? Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Confirmation.
How? When was the convention from the time that your brother passed away? He passed away in October of 2023.
Convention was August.
The following year of 2024. Mm-hmm. All right. So after August of 2024, how long did it take you to get your head on straight to say, I better get my happy butt to Liberia? It wasn't even.
I went to Liberia in November.
Yeah, that's
God moved that way, because I didn't know how I was going to do it. I had no money for it. I had nothing. Mind you, I had quit my job and went full time into business.
And, you kind of left that part out.
Yeah, because we didn't talk about business at all, right?
Right.
I had my brother passed away in October. My sister passed away in November. I was traveling back and forth to Mississippi, and as a lot went on, spiritual wise, health wise. My health had went down and everything. So I was like, I don't know how I was going to do. I couldn't go to Mississippi anymore. I quit my job. And I hadn't been working for, so I was like, how I'm going to go to, I have no money for this. God made a way. People sent money, people paid money. And that's how I was able to go. And I went from August to November. That's when I went. Mm-mm.
Wow. And so did you meet with the president? Did you meet the president?
I have not met the president yet, but I've come very close.
Wow.
And so things are in order, but I know everything happened in divine way, and when it's time for me to meet him, I will. But I was on his compound and everything. He just wasn't there at the time. But I've been to his compound. I'm part of his. Like I said, I have an agreement with his foundation. So yes, God is still moving, and he's still doing different things. Just when it's time for me to meet him, it's going to be when I'm supposed to.
Okay, so now are you planning on just getting a regular job here, or do you actually now understand that this is the purpose that God has for your life, or are you still fighting it?
I'm fighting it. But I'm going to tell you, I'm in and out. Honestly, it's like sometimes.
Yeah, I'm in and out too. I was out this morning. It's like, let me go.
When I think of everything that I have to do here as far as home and life and business, I'm like, okay, God. And then,
girl, you're not married, are you?
No.
You don't have kids, do you?
At all.
You better do what you're supposed to do while you're supposed to do it. Are you kidding me?
And when I think about what I have to do for Liberia, I'm like,
Yes.
then I have to go back. So I'm doing things simultaneously. Right now, I'm working on a big project out of Savannah, Georgia, where we are working to get Savannah, Georgia to be a sister city to Robertsport, Liberia. So,
you are something else.
So yeah, now I have the end for the mayor of Savannah, and it's a big process, but I was just in Savannah last week working on it.
Right. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
If you can sit down and figure it out and make it all work in your mind, that's your idea. When it's a big project that's bigger than anything you could ever possibly hope for or imagine, it's God's idea.
It's all God.
And when it's God's idea, he just needs somebody down here to orchestrate, but he's the one that makes it all happen.
Say it
this
again.
is huge.
Yeah.
This is very exciting.
Yeah, I love it.
So in Haiti,
Liberia.
in Liberia, are there orphans? Are there?
Yes. Yes, and what I learned, even on my land and the women on my land, and it was one of my initiatives, a part of humanitarian that I haven't spoken about, is the need for help with the women because of, name it, SA and the R word and everything. Because I know we're on YouTube, so I know that those things you can't say, but when it comes to all that, because of all that, yes, all that is happening.
So have you thought about coming up with some sort of a transition home or a place that they can come? I mean, we need to talk and figure out. You need to learn from my mistakes.
Yes, I've thought about all that. And so I'm partnering with a government, a woman who works with the Joseph Boakal in the government, and she goes to the different lands, and she has these different programs that we want to, that I want to come to my land to implement and everything. And so it's just the money part of it, portion of it all right now.
Well, God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills.
That part.
I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you need money, you need to realize that he's the one that you. I'm not talking to you.
I haven't worried about it.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to me. And so we have to have our faith and our trust in him, not in somebody here, because the truth is, whoever's going to give to the ministry, they're going to end up being blessed. But the fact of the matter is, God is the one that has the money. I'm very curious about this though, because in Haiti, one of the big things that we don't do is we never buy land or houses, because you never really know if you actually really own it.
That part.
Is there that kind of like freakiness there?
It's very precarious, and it was a big learning process for me. So how it works, and something that happened to me since I've been back home is that, okay, so we own the land. I have the actual deed to the land. Right. But there's different types of deeds.
Right.
And so you have statutory deeds and you have warranty deeds. And so yes, I have the the main deeds, the warranty deeds to the land. What happened is that Liberia went into something because of people just taking claim to different lands. They went and they did examination. That's not the word, but they went and did of the land, right? And they went to the clan heads and they say, look, we did this, and we want to give you the deed to this so that you. And so now they thinking, oh, we got them. No, you don't. I still have the warranty deed for the land. They giving you a statutory deed to let you know, okay, this is the quadrants to where your land is. And so now that you have this, that you know that when people have, you know what you have, right? Because people they really don't know. We've been living here forever, but we really don't know that this is our quarter. This is, and when we buy a home, we know exactly where our property ends and where it begins. Yeah. They don't understand that side of it all, right?
Or in Haiti, you can actually buy a house and you think it's your house, and then they come and say, oh, it's your house, but you don't own the land.
You don't own the land.
So
it's like that in Philly. It's like that in Philly. You could own that
in Philly. What's
Philadelphia? Yeah.
Oh, in America?
In America, yeah. You could go and you could own that. They have a lot of row homes. You could own that row home and never own that land that row home is on.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I thought it was something.
No,
just to Haiti.
No.
Well, this is so stinking exciting.
Love it.
I am so. What did your brother have like a name for the ministry, or was he just?
So the business. Yes, we have a couple of businesses in Liberia. So the main business is coming out of started in Savannah, Georgia, and it's a nonprofit called Green. Yes, and then the for-profit is out of Liberia called GGL and GAIN. So we have GAIN Global Logistics, which is the umbrella for the businesses for everything that I bring into Liberia.
Okay.
And so that's how we're working it. It's really businesses, and through the businesses, this is how I'm getting everything done.
Got it. So did your brother live in Savannah?
He lives in Savannah,
connection with? Okay.
Yeah. So my history is that my father's from Louisiana, my mom is from Georgia, and so so Savannah was where my mom is from, Louisiana, and so that's how it all.
Is the green bracelet you have on have anything to do with the name of the ministry? Green?
No, I just love jade.
Okay. Do you know why he named it Green?
No, I don't.
Wow.
But I just love jade. That's all that is.
Interesting. Okay, so you got a lot of people's lives potentially in your hands.
I do, and I want them to know, and I wish if they ever see it on YouTube and they ever watch this, I want them to know that everything that I do is with the heart of them in my mind, with them in mind, through God, that I want better for them, that I know that as I walk and talk, that they are foremost in everything that I do, and everything else comes after.
Right. It does kind of take over your life that way. I know now, even whenever I go to get like a cup of coffee and it's like $7, I'm like, I can't pay $7 for that cup of coffee, because with $7 in Haiti,
do with that?
You start gauging every decision you make based on the people whose lives God has placed in your path to change their lives forever. What about Jesus? Is that foremost in your mind, to share Jesus with them? What is the religion in Liberia?
So what I learned when I went there is that I think they're head Muslim.
Okay, it's a Muslim country.
Muslim communities. They're not a Muslim country. They do have Christianity.
Okay.
But they are, my property is Muslim. But let me tell you, I didn't stop because I still go Jesus. I went there when I went and I spoke from scripture. Because I had to speak to each one of them, and I spoke from scripture, and they received it well.
100% they received it, because you know what? That's what you were made for. That's what we're all looking for. That's what we're hungry for. Wow. If Veronique has not inspired you to get up off of your hiney and go do something, I don't know what. She's inspired me. I'm ready to go. So, our job is to love him and love them, no matter where we are, no matter who's passed away, no matter what has been placed in our path. You need to do it.